Republican Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis out of New York. Good morning to you. You stopped the president on the floor on Wednesday night. What was your pitch?
I told him that he needs to go to the border, that he needs to see what I saw and what we heard just a couple of weeks ago from our Customs and Border Patrol agents, and that he needs to support these agents in doing their job because they feel like they've been abandoned by his administration. And quite frankly, the drug cartels have taken over the southern border, and they are diverting the CBP attention with this migrant flow of 175,000 individuals per month, and as they are being distracted with the paperwork, with overseeing the facilities, with watching the children that have come unaccompanied, the cartels are operating in the nefarious activities over the open and porous parts of our border, gun trafficking, sex trafficking, drug trafficking as well. And it's a very dangerous situation. It's a national security issue. And so I urge the president to go there himself to speak with the CBP.
What did he tell you in return?
Well, he told me that this is something that they're looking at, they're working on, that he was going to call me in his, he did have the White House counsel call me yesterday. I explained further why I felt it was necessary for the president to go firsthand to see this. However, I did read last night that it looks like he's looking to just give hundreds of millions of our taxpayer money to these countries, many that are corrupt. I mean, if you look at Honduras, one of the senior officials was just convicted in a New York court for drug trafficking, and now there are implications that the president of Honduras may have been involved. So this is a much bigger issue that really needs the attention of the president of the United States. And as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, we've been working very diligently to try to make some sense and present this to this administration.
Congressman, let's zoom out a little bit, because you were in the chamber on Wednesday. We watched. And then you had Tim Scott's speech afterwards. And there's two very different messages. Now, delivered, I think, with a similar types of, in terms of tone and temperament. But the visions, the policies are very different. Do you think that the Republicans are going to be able to draw enough of a contrast in the next few months, or maybe to have some influence on the bill?
There's an absolute contrast here. This is a fork in the road for our nation. The question is, are we going to move down a path of socialism, or are we going to preserve our freedoms, our liberties, and the American dream? My parents came to this country as immigrants. Their daughter is a member of the United States Congress. We want to preserve that opportunity for future generations. We want to preserve free market. We want to preserve these freedoms and liberties that we hold so dear. And if you heard what the president is saying, he's looking to change that, and it's very dangerous, whether it be these radical election law changes, wanting to use your taxpayer money to fund political campaigns, anti-policing legislation that would make our streets more dangerous and put more power in the hands of the bad guys, or whether it be a commission to look at packing the court, which is straight out of the socialist handbook. It is how Hugo Chavez destroyed Venezuela by packing that court from 20 to 32 members, 45,000 consecutive cases in his ruled in his favor. We cannot allow that to happen in the United States of America. And I think the unsustainable spending is a major problem. As Margaret Thatcher said, you run out of other people's money. Government needs to focus on the basics.
Yes, my husband is
transportation infrastructure.
My husband is British, and I hear that quote often as he watches the news and gets frustrated. My last question for you is this. Do you get the sense that it's difficult for you as a member of Congress to get information to the president, or that he's not getting the information that you want? Because you and Troy Nehls, who we'll talk to later, even Senator Rob Portman, they all really wanted to get to Biden personally, rather than, I guess, maybe waiting for White House-led affairs to give you a call.
I think the question is who's really making the decisions here, because that's who we want to speak to. I believe that, they are going along with the radical left agenda, and that's very dangerous and what we don't want in this country. The question is the president really believe these policies, or is she just the person who's the messenger? So I think what we really want to do is have a real dialogue, and the way we do it is through the media, or we do it through advertising. That's the only way the Republicans have an opportunity to push back, to expose what is in these bills, with the hopes that the Senate won't take them up, and we can hold the line until we can take back the House with 5 more seats in 2022.
She represents Staten Island here in New York. Nicole Malliotakis, thank you for your time and sharing your story with us today from the past week. Thank you.